November 3rd, Election Day in America, is edging ever closer. Some are not just nervous about the results, but nervous about the real potential for violence in the streets. Over the course of the past few months, amid the pandemic, tensions have been at boiling point, and at some points even boiling over. Violence has taken place at political rallies. Last weekend, it was Boston that was the site of scuffles between Trump supporters and left-wing activists. Videos like this are becoming more and more common across America. The country is becoming more and more polarized.
You have this witch's brew that really hasn't happened in America's history, and if it has, it's been decades, if not centuries.
Right-wing militias and Antifa are both heavily armed and both walking the streets freely in American cities.
Hi. Say your name.
Gun sales are record high. Now, the year isn't even over yet, but already the FBI has announced that 2020 is the record year for the number of FBI background checks for gun purchases. Tensions are being ratcheted up by both candidates, who are both suggesting that the other guy is rigging the vote.
My single greatest concern, this president's going to try to steal this election.
It's Democrats. They're trying to rig this election.
Will the elections have a quick result that is accepted by everyone? Or will it be contested? With both candidates having supporters that are armed and ready for battle, things could explode very quickly.
Lagos airport shut down. Protesters blocked the entrance to international departures on Monday night. The latest in a wave of demonstrations which began some 10 days ago against the police's loathed special anti-robbery squad.
Our demand is to eradicate SARS and stop them, not to be operating again, because we don't need them. They are disturbing the nation everywhere. Even they harass you when you are driving, they do whatever they like. So we don't need that anymore.
SARS, formed in 1984, has been accused of a wide range of brutality, including extortion, torture and murder. In response to protests against violence committed by the unit, government announced last week that it would be dissolved. But protesters have remained unconvinced by the reforms, calling for further police accountability. Demonstrations have subsequently continued across key Nigerian cities, accompanied by further violence. Amnesty International on Monday placed the overall number of fatalities at 15 since protests began. To quell the dissent, government on Monday claimed it had met protester demands by creating an independent body to investigate alleged misconduct, while releasing all arrested activists.
It is time to move to the next stage. That next stage is dialogue, to sit at the table. You have put demands on the table, demands have been met, you might have other demands. The use of force is often should always be the last option.
Undeterred, however, activists have continued in their efforts, sharing images of purported abuse on social media, while receiving external aid through online crowdfunding, as well as garnering support from global celebrities under the hashtag #EndSARS.
It hasn't been fully tested, it hasn't been approved yet, but they came running to get a place in the queue for the vaccine. This is a first at this community hospital. Anyone can turn up, pay the fee and get the jab, here and now. It's worth it, this businessman told us. He wants to travel again. His firm in West Africa is losing money every day. Now, it wasn't that long ago that people were queuing for COVID-19 tests, but now it's the vaccine. And this isn't part of a clinical trial. What's happening here in China is it's being rolled out to the public. You turn up, pay your money, you get your number, and then over there you get in the queue. And in the next few hours, that clinic's going to open and people are going to get the vaccine. The queues stretched a couple of hundred people long. It was first come, first served. And this isn't just China rolling out a vaccine. This is the Communist Party with this medical first. But how do we know it's safe?
For the safety, I think it's very fine, because I heard the government always says publishes some news that the vaccine is very safe and it can save you from the COVID-19.
Everyone had to sign a form acknowledging the risks of taking this unapproved vaccine. It's made by Sinovac, a state-owned firm. This woman smiled nervously when I asked if she trusted the doctors. Inside, she was shown the box. Then it was her right arm which got the jab. Afterwards, a sight many outside of this country will find almost unbelievable: a pile of used vaccine packs in the rubbish bin. She was relieved, putting it mildly, after she emerged. The UK was in the queue in one way when this vaccine...
And speaking of coronavirus, in the search to find a new vaccine to fight off the virus, a corona trial participant in Brazil has died. AstraZeneca, one of the front runners in the race to develop a vaccine for COVID-19, saw its shares drop by 1% this afternoon when the news broke. However, the trial will not be suspended because the volunteer who died was not a part of the group who received the actual vaccine, but instead was in the control group who got the placebo. Brazil is the second highest number, has the second highest number of coronavirus cases in the world, and deaths with more than 115,000. The United States currently has more COVID-related deaths than any other country in the world.
Now breaking news, a powerful earthquake has struck southern Alaska, triggering a tsunami warning. According to the USGS, the 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck off Sandpoint, Alaska, just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was followed by several aftershocks in the 5.0 magnitude range. You can hear it. The quake prompted tsunami warnings for many communities along the southern coast, but those warnings have now been downgraded to advisories.